Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, and welcome to the Carmel Town Board. Tonight's meeting is a work session. We have 11 items on the agenda, and we're planning to have executive with personnel issues. I call this meeting to order, and if everyone please rise, face the flag. Councilman Lombardi will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just take for a moment of silence as we pass Veterans Day. Just remember all those veterans who have gone before us, who provided us with the blanket of freedom that we live under each and every night.
Thank you. I ask the town board to please review the minutes from October 15th and November 5th, excuse me, that our clerk, Alice Daly, has provided. First up is Mary Ann Maxwell, the town comptroller. Consider request to authorize 2025 delinquent water and sewer re-levy to the 2026 town and county taxes. Mary Ann?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So we do this every year. Basically, we are re-levying any water consumption charges that are past 90 days, delinquent, and also our out-of-district water and sewer charges that are 90 days past, delinquent. These charges these residents get their water bills twice a year, actually 4 times a year if they're delinquent. So they have been notified of, these delinquent charges. It's a total of $288,000 in water delinquent charges, and as of now, the delinquent out of district charges are $25,178. We do have 2 property maintenance cleanups of $7,300. These property maintenance cleanups were done in 2024, so they were supposed to be re-levied by the county last year, but it did not happen. So we were trying to re-levy it this year. So
Did those properties sell, do you know, Mary Ann?
one of those properties has sold. So I think we're going to have to take a loss on that one because one of those properties did sell. So
Wait, can I just ask? The failure to levy that property was on the county?
it was. It was, yeah. Yeah.
So then, shouldn't they make us whole on?
Well, they would have.
We could. I mean, we could reach out to the county. I'll have to talk to Greg about that,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, that's the whole purpose.
It was 28, yeah,
That's the whole
2,800.
purpose of the law that we
Correct,
passed,
yeah,
and the levying
yeah.
and the re-levying, and it going
Yeah.
to the county, and,
And
to make us whole, and,
Yeah, these tax bills were printed in 2025, and those amounts were not on the tax bills. Between myself, Kathleen, and the county, we did try to correct that, but the tax bills were already printed and it couldn't happen. So this is going back. I have emails to show the back and forth with this. So, but one of those properties did sell, so.
okay.
But I can talk to Greg about it and we can address it with the county.
Yeah, we should
So,
definitely work
yeah.
on that.
Sure, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
not a whole heck of a lot of money,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, no, I
little
know,
bit-
but it's
little bit-
every
it's the-
bit
it's the
matters, yeah.
Principle
Yeah.
of the matter.
Yep, so. What I will do is I will reprint both the out-of-district and the water delinquent charges before the meeting next week, before you guys vote on it, so you'll have an updated version. I printed this last week, and there has been payments made, but I don't want to waste a ton of paper and, reprint it every time. So I will give you an updated list of all of the delinquent charges that are going to be re-levied on next Wednesday, so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Ann.
Yep. And
Next up, is the
next up is the
LoSAP.
LoSAP, okay, the PenFlex, yes. So PenFlex is the actuary service that we use for our Carmel Fire Protection District number 1 and number 2. So this basically is an annual cost that we pay PenFlex to prepare the service fees, the reports that they do for us. It's $8,600 in Carmel Fire Protection District number 1, and $9,300 in Carmel Fire Protection District Number 2. Those amounts are both budgeted in 2026, in the 2026 budget. It is a slight increase of, I think, $150 for each of them from last year, or from this year.
Thanks.
Okay?
And then budget revisions, please.
Yes. So these are budget revisions for September and October. I'll just go over the ones that we're basically covering from either the fund balance or some revenue sources. The first one is to provide for a payout of accrued vacation time, and the second one is to provide for a payout of accrued time for retirees. Those are both coming from the comp absence fund balance that we have in the general fund. The retirees are in the police department. One was a dispatcher earlier this year, and one was in the police admin department. Number 3, we're providing for overtime from grant funding. And number 4, we're also providing for miscellaneous police expenses, also from grant funding. Number 5, we're providing for and transferring for retro pay of overtime on differential. This was paid out last month, so that's $31,920. That's coming from the fund balance. Number 6, we're providing and transferring for police miscellaneous expenses. These are the lines that have gone over budget or will go over budget before year end in the police budget. We do have to take $100,000 from the fund balance to cover those lines, because there's not enough money in the other police lines to transfer to. So we do have to transfer from the fund balance for that. Number 7, we're providing for community police overtime from revenue received. We have received a good amount of revenue from the two, from the Temple and Villa Barone, that is covering the community police overtime. So I'm increasing the revenue line to offset the expenses. Number 7, we're providing for the capital improvements from the Parkland Trust per an authorizing resolution that you guys passed last week. We're transferring $28,420 from the Parkland Trust. Number 9, we're providing for various improvements from ARPA funds. So these are ongoing ARPA projects that are continuing. They have to be done by next year. So we're basically providing for the funds that already came from revenue sources for those projects. Number 10, we're transferring from miscellaneous expenses in the general fund. And on page 2, transferring for miscellaneous highway expenses in the general fund. And number 12, transferring for miscellaneous recreation expenses in the general fund. In the Chamber Park, number 13, we're transferring from the contingent account to cover costs in the Chamber Park. That's coming from the Swan Cove line I have set up in the contingent account. That's $2,000. Number 14 is agency and trust. That's just showing the Parkland Trust transfer of $28,420. And the Highway Fund, we're transferring for miscellaneous highway expenses, as well as transferring for CHIPS overtime and FICA expense. Lake Secor, we do have to take $4,000 from the fund balance in that district to cover contractual expenses. And in the water and sewer districts, these basically are just transfers within the districts. We do not have to take any funds from the fund balance this time around, so that's good. But it's basically transfers within the district. And on page 4, we're providing for capital project costs from approved borrowing in the special drainage fund. That's for the Iguana Car Wash project that was just awarded. And also there's other transfer for capital expenses in the other capital projects. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marion.
Thank you.
Next up is Highway Superintendent Stern. Good evening.
Good evening, Board. I am recommending the following bids as awarded as follows: for wash sand from Red Wing Properties, winter mix from Package Pavement, and guide rail from Chemung Supply. Very easy tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a great night.
Rich Franzetti, Town Engineer, Snow Removal Swan Cove, first up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The attached proposal, as the supervisor mentioned, is for Swan Cove snow removal, was sent out to a list of various contractors. 2 people responded, Lake Mayapack Landscaping and Mike Blue Wheels. Lake Mayapack Landscaping was the lowest proposer in this case. They have adequately performed this work since 2022, and we recommend that, at least for next year, 25-26, that Lake Mayapack Landscaping be awarded the contract in the amount of $15,600. As the board may recall, this is contractual with the bank as part of the Swan Cove project.
And this is the same pricing from before, that's why it was so low.
Right, so they kept their prices flat. Last time we put it out, there were 3 proposers. It was Mike Blue Wheels and another company, Cassidy, Legacy. Both were higher at that time, so that's why Lake Mayapack Landscaping was awarded it last time. And they kept their prices flat, and that's why we're recommending them again. So,
Thanks. And item 6 is a change order for the roof project.
So as the board is aware, Nico K Construction Services was awarded the project on December 18th of #24. Work is essentially finished. The reason for the request is the drainage cap features, the existing drainage cap retainer rings were not reinstalled when the prior roof was put on. The old drainage retainer rings were removed and simply extended. When they applied the foam to the roof, they got into the drain pipe and coated the inside of the drain pipe. So we recommended at that time to put in, new drain caps and features on top of all the roofs. And then wood under the coping. I've sent this out to the board a bunch of times, right? All the coping here on all the roofs was undersized, so you needed 2x10s. They were using 2x8s. There was a lot of warped wood. They couldn't reuse any of the wood. And so that was a condition that we could not have seen when we first did this. So we're recommending a change order in the amount of $16,536.55 for this project. Pretty much done. There was one little leak in front of PD, but it's not due to the roof. It might be due to the piping that's in there, so we're having that investigated right now. So other than that, they've been paid for their contractual work. As the board knows, I sent an email out. There were unistruts that were placed on the roof for the police department antenna that was not part of their contract, and they donated the time and labor for that to the town and to the police department for that. The police department's been made aware of that, as the board has been made aware, and I'm letting everybody else know. So it was about $1,800, something like that, that they donated their labor and time and the equipment for the unistruts so they can put the antenna out.
And what about that leak over there?
So that was fixed. So that leak over there, when they put the roof on, that's a hatch in that hole over there, just so you all know. There is a ladder in this building or around this building somewhere that goes in this room, and you can go up through there. And once you get into that hole, there's another little 4-foot-long ladder that you pull a latch up, and you can get onto the roof here that way, other than going from the outside, which is what we typically do. When they put the covering on, they did not put a cover on that hatch. They didn't think it was necessary. Apparently it was, so they came back and put that on. The last couple of rainfalls, it hasn't dripped in there.
Thanks.
Same thing with the 2 stairwell roofs. If you go up to the very top level, there's a lot of water damage up there. That has been fixed. It was crazy when they were standing on one of the parapets up top over there. It was like a waterbed. That's how much water was in there, and they were just standing on it. It was just coming out the scoper over there. It was scupper, sorry. It was pretty crazy. So the old foam roof was not very good once it got wet.
I was really impressed by them. They showed up with an army. They were able to knock out the project relatively quickly. So I think they did a great job.
Yeah, they did. They did really do a good job.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable to see them assemble and just go to work and knock it out in a relatively fast manner. And like you said, it was unforeseen conditions that they were able to just audible and take care of it.
Got it done, yeah. Check it off the list.
And on top of that, I really like that they only hit us with 15% overhead profit. That's also nice too.
That's in our actual contract bids.
I'm happy,
Yeah,
thanks.
so that's in our specs. One other thing with that, the door on this side has always leaked, and there was always water. They fixed that problem too. So on the very top level, to get onto the roof, the water would just shoot in and get in there. We haven't had it in the past couple of rain events. So knock on wood that that's the case, but they went and fixed that whole area too. They made it pitch away, and they did what they had to do. So again, great work by these guys.
They did a great job.
Thank you, Rich.
Want to do the bond?
Yeah, I don't know which one's first. I don't think it really makes a difference, so.
Fairways, Lot 7.
Yeah, so, lot 7, perfect, that's the one I had open. So on October 22nd, the planning board passed a motion recommending a bond reduction of $976,000 and leaving a balance of $1.8 million for the above captioned property. There's a fully executed bond application form, and I have provided a memo to recommend the return of the bond for the site features that are there for the work that's going on up there. So I performed 6 or 7 different visits to do that over time, so.
And then Lot 6 on Gateway.
Same idea. This one, a lot more work has been done on Lot 6. So on October 22nd, planning board made a motion recommending the reduction of $2.34 million, leaving a balance of $585,000 for the Lot 6. This has been inspected multiple times, and, you know, they're moving forward. They're getting all their water meters. They're getting everything else. They're getting all what they need in there. And they're selling them, as the board may or may not be aware of that, so. Just one quick thing, if you don't mind, we've sent out the mandatory water restrictions for Carmel Water District 2. The tank will be drained on the 19th, so they're looking to do the clapboard ridge tank on the 19th of this month. They'll refill it. We're not gonna do the other tank until the spring, because we're gonna be taking down the Lindy tank and replacing it with a new one, so with the lead time to get all the equipment. So what's gonna happen is, right now, we sent that out, the board had given us permission to do a mandatory water restrictions. We'll probably ask they be rescinded and then redone again, or we can just leave it open. I'll talk to Greg about that, how we should do that. We're certainly gonna get the message out online tomorrow, but we sent those letters out. In case you get any questions, that's what's happening. They do not need to use those pneumatic tanks. They were able to figure out the hydraulics of the system with all the tanks in order. They're not using the hydraulic tanks like I had explained last time and when there was a larger group of people here. So that's a good thing. So I just wanted to let the board know and let the public know that that's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Rich.
So item number 9 is from the Director of Recreation and Parks. Nina Kalmeyer is requesting disposal of some obsolete equipment, and it looks like actual garbage. A Toro 824 power shift snow thrower with a blown engine, some Woods equipment Kubota backhoe attachment with frozen pivot points and dry rotted hydraulic hoses, temporary fencing that they found at a park, old rusted metal storage cabinet, and old children's playhouse. And Michael? Our building inspector and codes enforcement. Mike Carnazza, return of fees.
Yeah,
Good evening.
There were 2 fees. One of them was the zoning board application that was in Putnam Plaza. They came in front of the board for a sign in their glass. Before we changed the code, they were allowed to have the sign in the glass. They put it in before the code was changed, so they didn't need the variance. So that alleviated that. They're looking for $300 back. And the second one was a bunch of searches that were in when we were making the transition in my office. They took too long. We didn't do any work on them, so these were able to get their money back. There's some they asked for back, but we already started doing the search, so they can't get it back.
Excellent, thank you. Public comment? Resident or business owner? All right. I'll let the veteran talk about how everything went at the memorial. Anything, comments? Michael?
Good start. Go ahead, Rob.
You want me to start?
Well, you want to
Oh,
talk
I
about
want to
your,
thank everybody who came out yesterday for the Veterans Parade on East Lake Boulevard. It was probably one of the coldest Veterans Days that I can remember. It was nice. It was very brisk. But with that being said, our community showed up like they always do. I'm proud to be a part of a community that supports veterans. It was great. The Supervisor, Councilman Lombardi was there. The VFW had a great ceremony afterwards, and I know the VFW in the Hamlet, they also put on a nice ceremony as well. So I want to thank everyone again for always supporting us. And then on top of that, November 22nd, I know I keep announcing it, but Thanksgiving Day Parade in honor of Izzy Cashin. She's going to be the Grand Marshal. Myself, the Mayapack Knights of Columbus, Schwick Wheels. We have a great lineup of marchers, vendors, food trucks. It's going to be a fantastic time. All money raised through sponsors will go directly to Izzy and her family as she battles the unthinkable. So if you're in the area and you have nothing to do that weekend, swing by and show your support. Starts at 5 o'clock, sorry. That's it.
Just this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. In this room is the Assemblyman Slater's Veterans Hall of Fame, where we recognize accomplishments of bravery and dedication to men and women in the 94th District. This year, the Town of Carmel Town Board has recognized a longtime friend and veteran and law enforcement official, Dennis Fernandez. So he will, I'm sure, pack the room for his induction. So we will ask everyone to please be here if you can. That's 10 o'clock this coming Saturday.
I have nothing, Mike.
no dad's things?
Not yet.
All right, so can I get a motion to go to executive personnel?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, we'll see you next Wednesday.